12, 9, 11.
It's Week 17 of the NFL. We'll see the dynamic Justin Fields after his last game, now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Bills and the Browns under the lights on Monday night.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
And we are underway in Buffalo. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
Fields passing on the first play from scrimmage. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now the numbers for Waddle in last week's ball game. 6 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
And he now has 8 touchdowns on the season, and I just know this. He's going to be so eager to run routes in this one and try and get to the end zone at least 2 more times. 10 is a key number, really signifies that you've had a big year.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So roughing the passer, and they get the safety there.
And this is one I think where the safeties usually got to come a long way. So sometimes it's tough for them to slow down that momentum. That's going to draw the flag more times than not.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers. 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
I haven't been a defense coordinator yet. The thing 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense partner.
Nice job holding to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on first down. On play action, Fields. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. So here comes the Browns offense with a long field ahead. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish #1, including himself.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
This is caught. It's Christian Watson finding space at the 40. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Rolling to his left. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. The Browns at 14-1 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Their first possession of the game, and they're already going after double coverage.
That's a nice completion that can set the tone for things to come if they're able to keep finding ways to beat what the defense is throwing at them. They look like they're confident that they can get it done.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where a play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Again, it's Burrow. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right, because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs, and they have to officiate block and charge.
And he's rolling up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll give Henry another shot. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Burrow. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, he's been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here come the Bills out for their 2nd drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap, Fields. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of the game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. Jawan Bentley, the one to get in and finish off the play. Now, the number 1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. That's Waddle. He's got the catch on the out route. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
We hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that is no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. He hit pay dirt so many times we almost lost track. Every time we turned around, he was in the end zone.
And those weren't all just 1-yard plunges either, partner. I mean, he ripped off a few long jaunts as well.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. He's a reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and defensively they have to find an answer for him.
And that's what you would do if you were calling plays, right? You'd make sure that he gets targeted. But the thing about it is the route running. That's what makes him so dangerous, is because no matter what is presented defensively, he runs his route with such skill that he's able to go up and get the football first in each and every situation.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow over the middle, complete. It's Ballard. And the Browns are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Here we go.
Now it's Burrow. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the draw, it's Harris. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now Fields. He completes this to Russell Gage. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 32-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he's got room. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Fair to say, it hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. It's now 3rd and long. To throw is Fields. Open man, he completes it to Judy. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
And his kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So Charles there on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Joe Burrow and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
You know what trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Second and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henry. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field that brings up third down. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. On the delay, here's Hunt. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on third and goal. Now it's Burrow. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is now 17-3. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Get a look at Jerry Jeudy as he leads his offense back out there for this next series. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. To throw again on second down. Fields. His throw incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why they look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Throwing again is Fields. Got a man. It's Jeudy complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Here's Fields. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. 3 yards remain for second down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Fields completes it again to Gage. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Meanwhile, Fields' throw here taken in by Ingram. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards that time to push him up, first and goal. To the air again, Fields. Eluding the pressure right. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this will get out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's second and goal. Fields. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
Now Fields on third and goal. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Here we go.
The Browns drive about to get started. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. On first and 10, Joe Burrow. He rifles one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Bills are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A final shot before the break. Fields. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And this one is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it was the Packers who get the win at home. Devontae Adams, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. Javonte Williams, well over 100 yards on the ground with 3 touchdown runs. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were losers in that one to the visiting L.A. Chargers. Desmond Ridder, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Browns. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Bills, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Final adjustments being made for the second half. So with that, we get you back up to Orchard Park and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. The Browns offense getting set to go to work here to start the third. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try to win this ball game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Burrow will throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Ballard. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory. Down at the 31. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ballard. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 18. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves to James. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to the ground now. It's Henry trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game. Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack. But just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Back to throw. Fields out quickly to Judy. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at about the 14. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there and says, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. They stop him. Kevin Stefanski consulted with his guys above, and they've told him throw that challenge flag.
Previous play is under review.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So for Kevin Stefanski, a smart decision to throw the flag. From midfield now, Burrow. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game. That game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Play action. It's Burrow. Pushes him over. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Jet sweep. Here's Watson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Christian Watson, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that one a long 11-play drive and was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bills ready to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, It has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On first down, it's Fields. Pass incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Again, Fields. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. 4th down, Fields has to have this one. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down, and this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns' drive about to get started. What a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And the busy night for Henry continues. And he's going to have a Browns first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Jet sweep. Here's Watson. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Over the middle, complete. That's Ballard. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 42. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 42-yard line. Henry up the middle. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
7 yards there and a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take it look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll get it to the 23-yard line. 63 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Good gain there on first down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Ready?
Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I can be in that hole with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Derrick Henry. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Elliott on for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A 10-play drive that time. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Fields. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Fields. Setting up the screen, Harris. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. To throw is Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, 57 yards. And the Bills are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Here's the Bills kickoff unit out as they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They run it again with Hill. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And even playing on the road, the class of this.
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something by Benz looking cute. That's honest. Her and her friends, big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she bought ain't no way somebody daddy ain't gonna give it a spins with her ends. Cause yeah, she did it again. A few more tracks and this time she bought Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
They don't know what they in for. If we coming like this on the intro, what they here for? If they want the heat, you know who to send for your